think we're live now. We are live now.
Hello?
In the dark.
It's not too bad. Hey, everybody. We're back with the Blind Wave Podcast. We are all here now. How are you?
Hello.
So
You are technically correct. The best kind of correct.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's been a while since we had a podcast. We've had Game Awards. We've had
Vacations.
Yeah, it has been a long time.
I feel like the last time we had a podcast was like candy ranking. You know?
Yeah,
I feel like that's the last one that I really remember.
Yeah,
sure.
maybe.
No, we are here now for
MCU.
We did
Yeah.
an MCU one. That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
today, what do we rank?
Are we ranking again?
Damn.
I don't think we're ranking anything. This is our last
What do we
podcast
have
of
to
the
rank?
year, right? Because we have a Badonkagong next week.
Let's rank weeks of the year.
What?
Oh, well, this year. Like, what was our favorite week?
Next week.
You think?
Yeah, next week is always the best week.
Why?
It's an optimistic point of view,
See?
which is something Aaron is famous for.
It's always a week away.
I'm not saying dates specifically. I'm just saying next week is the best week.
Sure.
My favorite week is every week I play God of War Ragnarok at twitch.tv/blindwave, which you're watching right now. Oh, my God. Last night was one of the most intense streams I've ever had. I'm still reeling from it. Ugh. I can't talk about
play
it. I can't talk about it.
So excited.
Don't talk about it.
I had to
Eric.
just stop playing the game for like 3 minutes at one point.
Stop gushing.
3 minutes. I've been doing Pokemon, which has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed that.
I've been playing Pokemon at home.
I am almost done. I have almost finished all the main quest lines. I just have like the last wrap-up quest of each thing,
Yeah.
which includes the Elite Four. So I got to build my team for the Elite Four. I'm not giving you my drink. It's my drink.
Are you asking if you're drinking your drink?
Ah, it's so good.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what. No, it's mine. I don't know what you're doing. Go get water over there. There's water over there. There's cups. There's cups over there. This is my drink. You're just staring at me going, ah. But no, Pokemon's been a lot of fun. Also, with Pokemon coming out, the highlights of all that has been actually placed on the Pokemality channel, which has been new for this game. Usually they've been over on Blind Wave's main channel and on the Twitch archive, but yeah, the highlights are over on Pokemality, which is fun.
Yeah. Yeah, chat, I know I had a stone. I keep forgetting. Anytime I die in God of War, it's the only time I ever make sure, like, look over at chat, make sure nothing's going wrong. And that happens to be the time that I can, if I want to, use my resurrection stone. But sometimes I don't want to. But most of the times, I miss the prompt.
Missed the prompt.
Sorry, Aaron. I should have used a form of communication that you have understood.
Oh, my goodness.
Nobody, unless Maggie's watching, gets that. I do, and I love it.
Wait, hold on. Let's see. Anybody in chat understand what that was? We'll give them something.
How would they? How?
Give him a second.
Let's just see.
even
Does
if
anybody understand what that was?
I think even if they didn't, like if they
We're
had
gonna
it for somehow.
We're gonna leave that open for the entire podcast. If someone gets it,
I will gift you tier 2.
a sub.
get it.
Ooh, tier 2 sub. Wow.
If they can guess what it is, all right. I won't say what it's from then or anything. So, or why it is a thing. So, all right. We'll leave that open for the rest of the podcast. Then, so
Okay.
We'll see what happens here. People are gonna be like on Google searching, like, what the hell can it be? What do I type in?
They're just gonna be hearing different annoying screams.
And if you know, like, that's all you need.
That's
did it
all you
perfectly.
need.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah, no one knows.
what a weekend that was.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I guess like I don't know, like what has everyone been up to? I guess, or what have been some highlights over the last few weeks since we haven't had like our podcast typically, right?
Yeah.
I have the one thing that I also talked about in the most recent mailbag that's not coming out for another week or so.
Oh, you can mention that. I think that's exciting.
I think so. Yeah.
So a while back, some years ago,
Years.
during a
is
mailbag,
many.
I received a gift from Wave Riders
Yeah.
that was very generous and very sweet,
Uh-huh.
and I think also cleared with Melanie.
Yep.
Yes, I believe so.
And over the years, there have been complications in doing such a thing. And it was a matter of, I don't know, the money, insurance, where to travel, all these different things.
American healthcare, basically.
Yes,
Being fucked.
healthcare is just crazy. So I have surgery for a vasectomy on the 23rd.
Yay!
So it's finally gonna happen.
It's happening, everybody.
Live streamed here on Twitch. No.
I wish.
If this all sounds crazy and weird to you, you've just been left out of the loop.
Use
This
your
is
channel
from
points to
years ago.
influence.
So it's finally happening.
Plays vasectomy.
What is that? Surgery simulator or whatever it is?
Yeah, right. So to everybody who helped with that gift
Yes.
years ago, I thank you, and it is finally going to happen.
It is
and it will
finally
be done.
happening.
So, yeah, my Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, I'll see how I'm going to be and stuff. But yeah,
Is Rookie's birthday on the 23rd?
so no, the doctor I talked to the one thing that was funny is like I told these guys already about it, but they listed off like all these different things. Like this would be a vasectomy, and this would be a vasectomy, and this would all be vasectomies.
Yeah.
And I'm doing all four.
All
you know?
four.
All right.
One for each kid.
Yeah, I guess so. So hopefully everything will be good, done, and I won't have to worry about that until, well, I don't know. I guess there's like some time.
Sure. There's like a safety term, right?
I don't know with the processes of how they are. I looked up online at one point, and it had to do with like there's a month period, and there's also a action period or a number of actions that can be taken to where then it's good.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, well, cool. So it is ready to go. I just have to wait until next Friday. So I don't know. I said I was going to come into work. Some people were like, no, Aaron, you're not coming to work. So I don't know. Maybe I won't.
You may.
You can rest.
I also don't know when it's going to be yet. I just know the date. I
Sure.
don't know
What
the
time?
time yet. So I don't know if it's going to be in the morning. I don't know if it's going to be at noon, so.
Yeah.
But I hope it's early because I have to not eat or drink anything from midnight on. And I don't want that
the later
to
that is
go.
in the day,
Yeah.
the harder it's going to be. Sure.
So anyway, yes, that's some of my big news, I guess, for the last few weeks or whatnot of all that.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little frustrated with I went to a doctor for. I'm getting 2 surgeries for. I have like this thing on my side that they're removing too, so they're doing both at the same time. But when I went for the one, I was like, "Hey, can I also do this?" And he's like, "Well, you probably want to talk to this guy." So he sent me to him, which was like a week or 2 later. And when I went to him, my appointment was for 2:20, and getting off work and then getting over there, and then I went in. I didn't know where it was supposed to be because it was at like a different part of the hospital. Like it wasn't the main hospital. It was like it's affiliated
An annex or something.
but it's affiliated, but it's a whole other building in another town.
Sure.
Right? So I'm like, I don't know where exactly I got to go. I went in and talked to like reception people. They're like, are you here for this? Are you here for this guy? I'm like, I don't remember who the doctor's name is. I just know like I'm here for this department for this stuff. And then like they just stared at me for a while. I'm like, can you look it up or anything? He's like, oh yeah, okay. And this old guy like scoots over to a computer, and like types it in. And like, what's your name? Gets it in. Okay, so this and this. All right. And then finally tells me where I gotta go. I'm all right. So I go get in the elevator, head up the floors, head down the hall. And when I get there, my appointment's at 2:20. I think I was talking to them by 2:25, so I was already late. When I walk into the office, it's 2:31. And they're like, oh, he has a 10-minute late policy, so he can't see you now. And I was like, but I was here. I was in the building. Like reception.
You're fucking
They
receptionist.
didn't tell me where to go. I was confused. Like, well, you can't delay the people who were on time. I'm like, I was so mad and upset. And then like, I was just so frustrated with the whole situation. But at least now it's finally figured out and whatnot and fixed and stuff. But everything will be good. So I'm excited to have that all done.
Good.
And
Nice.
hopefully not have to worry about. He's like, he looked at us like, do you you guys don't want to have any more kids? I'm like, no. He's like, okay. So that's all.
I
good.
hope it goes well and you recover quickly.
I hope so too. The way he talked is it should only be like a couple days, really, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Then this other guy that I knew started like it came up in topic, and then he started telling me about his. And
It was like a
he had
nightmare.
a horror story of a thing.
Oh no.
And like,
Oh no.
I was like, Jesus. But the one thing that's different that I'm like, okay, maybe it's not so bad, was that his horror story did not involve the OR, whereas mine does involve the OR.
Okay.
His was like an into office experience thing.
Right.
Yeah. So
During an earthquake.
yeah. So like, I'm like, I want to be unconscious. Like, I don't want to be at all awake, and he was awake
Sure.
during his. You know,
Oh, like an outpatient or
yeah,
whatever.
it was like you go in the office and have it done, not you go in and have an operation done or anything. So
No.
anyway, so I'm not. I think mine will be better. I'm hoping it goes as smooth or smoother than getting my wisdom teeth taken out, which I also had done recently. So
Huh.
I'm losing a lot of parts this month.
It's both good and bad. Martian Army said, "This is so insanely weird timing with Aaron mentioning that he's getting a vasectomy. I was literally going to tell you guys that during this podcast that Brooklyn Nine-Nine 2-2, the one about Terry's almost vasectomy, has recently gotten copyright blocked."
Oh no, is that a bad sign? Is this a sign?
I'm trying to check it out.
It's already starting.
2-2.
Yeah. So thank you, Martian.
When you run a reaction channel, the copyright stuff never stops.
Indeed.
All right. What about you guys?
Man, almost nervous to bring it up because last time I did, I dislocated my knee.
Shit, Rick.
But the plan is to start Roll with the Punches December 31st at
Yes.
10 a.m.
Roll with the punches.
Ooh.
Eastern Time.
Rick, what is Roll with the Punches?
It is a new YouTube channel that is a wellness channel that is role-playing game inspired. The first stream we're starting with is a beginning boxing stream, and we'll be doing workouts on that channel, instructionals for boxing, also talking about mental health, autism, depression, reviewing books on the subject, just wellness in general with a D&D style flavor. It's kind of the general idea, so we'll see. Nervous, excited, long time coming.
Yes. It's a mind and body fitness channel.
So yeah, I hope you can make it for that stream. The YouTube channel is going to be debuting soon. But even if you can't make it for the stream, that stream is going to stick around as a video, so you can catch it some other time. And there's going to be a lot of fun stuff on there, I think.
Yes.
Brooklyn 2-2 was only in U.S. and Canada. I saw where Dora.
Oh,
also
sorry,
said
I got muted. I should say, good news, Brooklyn Nine-Nine 2-2 was only blocked in the United States and Canada. So I've put in a dispute, and we'll get that fixed for everybody. But
Cool.
usually it's only Russia, and I'm like, Russia.
Russia.
But I'll take care of it.
Excuse me. In chat, I saw Dora. It's like Brooklyn 2-2, 2x2, 2 times 2 is 4. Aaron has 4 kids.
It's a sign.
But no, that's awesome, Rick. I'm excited for Roll with the Punches.
Yes.
And when did you say the first stream's gonna be?
The first one is going to be December 31st, which is a Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time is the plan.
Gotcha. Okay, so December 31st.
Yes,
Good.
very soon.
Yes.
What about Calvin, Eric? Do you guys have anything over the last month or two that we've missed or whatnot? I know there was some new stuff that we were going to talk about here in a little while, I think, from that Eric was mentioning.
Yeah, I got some stuff for the news. I mean, for just our own stuff. I mean, we had a blind wave retreat, which was like the first of that type of thing that we've done. You know, just the 4 of us, the crew, where we got a cabin and hung out and weren't performing. Usually when we're together, you know, we hang out a lot, but we're always kind of like in front of somebody and performing in that way. This was just us, which was a lot of fun. So I very much enjoyed it.
Even though there were some different times, it was like, man, we should have had a camera for this.
Well, yeah, you always do that. But that was it was very rewarding, refreshing, and by the time we got back to work, I was excited to get back to work.
Sure.
Yeah.
I feel like the main thing with that was like, it wasn't for anyone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
it was just for us.
It was just for us to like spend some time together.
Yep.
Whereas like we do that, but lots of times it's not necessarily for us. It's for everyone or others and stuff as well. So, though we do things that we want to do because we enjoy them.
Yep.
But
Oh yeah.
And
It wasn't all Smash Brothers either. Shocking.
it wasn't.
No.
It was a
Oh,
decent
yeah.
amount, but it was a lot of Smash. There was a hot tub.
hot tub, pool
And
table.
I know there was a lot of
pool
people being
table.
like, the crew in a hot tub? Like, that's just for us.
Yep.
Yeah, we did a little bit of Rock Band. We ate
Yeah.
a lot.
We did eat a lot.
Board
We made a
games.
lot of food. We made food enough for like 8 people
We
every
made
meal.
so much food.
But it was good times. It was nice just
We had
being out in the woods at night and not hearing constant traffic.
Sure.
Yeah.
I forgot how quiet it can be outside.
Oh, that's right. You guys all like kind of live in town.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I mean,
Yeah.
even you're right by a big.
Yeah, but usually it's only like
Interstate.
either sirens or like a real big truck heading like brrrr. It's like usually I don't hear too much.
Like a Jake break.
Typically, that's the times I hear things. So
Yeah.
usually it's pretty quiet where we are.
Just no light pollution. You can see the stars.
Oh, and
Yes.
sorry,
Go ahead.
I almost forgot. But the best thing about it, maybe for me, is I left a hint hunt.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
I
We
need
So-
to take the pictures.
So
No,
when
I don't. I can't until they tweet me.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
until I
we
tweet.
don't want to give away.
Damn it.
So we went to this cabin, and in the cabin, there was like a guest book kind of thing where you would write down like, here's who stayed or what we did, or just
Yeah.
kind of sign this guest book in some way. And the last person that had been there like wrote a story of how they liked the hot tub and they were having some Christmas or Thanksgiving fun, or
Yeah, it seemed
Yeah.
like
you
a
know,
kid wrote it.
yeah, it just seemed like I was so excited for this, and the hot tub was fun, and it was really cool and stuff. And then like Rick's like, we should make a hint hunt. It's like a hint hunt. He's like, yeah, we'll write it in this guest book, and if someone sees it, it will lead them to something else, which leads them to something. So it went from one thing to another thing to another thing, and then we left a little prize for someone if they did it. So,
Yeah.
So there's a prize hidden at that cabin
Yep.
with a hint hunt starting in that book.
So the real hunt is finding where we stayed.
yes, which we will not.
And then I think at the end of it, we left like tweet at Blindwave or something like
tweet
that.
at
Right?
Archmaster7.
That's
Yeah.
what it was. There you go.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on Twitter if anyone ever does it.
I would
If-
love for it to pop back up.
I would love
If a
for it,
wave
too.
rider finds that, then I think they win.
I mean, if they find it, then that's an instant wave rider, right? It's like, man, I got to find out who these people are.
Uh-huh.
So. No, I don't want to tell the cabin name or anything.
No, we can't.
We can tell you it was fairly close to where we worked.
Sure.
Like it wasn't like we didn't go to like other states.
No, yeah. It
So
was
that's-
in state.
That's the most you get.
Yeah, like, if you're, part of Blind Wave, you expect a hint hunt. But if you're just staying at a cabin,
Right?
it's like, what is this?
Yeah. And you have to actually, like, look in the book to realize what's going on.
So that was fun. I
That
hope
was
that we hear back from that because I'm hoping it's not like the whoever cleans it comes in and is moving stuff around or something somehow and finds it. Like
It
I
was
feel
a
like
very
it was.
last minute thing. Like
Yeah.
we were doing it the morning we had to check out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Eric, my handwriting's too bad. Write this.
Yeah, right.
So that was fun. I enjoyed that. No,
Yeah.
the whole trip was fun. I enjoyed it. And we found out Broughton's Chip Dip came back.
Oh
Yes.
my God.
We bought so much chip dip.
Oh,
We bought more than we needed to because it's also back here. But we went to another Walmart that had this Broughton's Chip Dip that had been discontinued for.
we didn't realize that it had come back.
No.
So we
were
bought,
oh,
like,
God.
8 of them.
Like, why do they have it? So, yes. Broughton's Chip Dip, which is back, which is really
Yes.
good, and it's a local place, too, so.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. So that was a lot of fun. No, the whole cabin trip was good. We had a fire, too.
Mm-hmm.
The worst thing for me was that I made hamburgers one day, right?
Yeah.
But then the next day, we were making, like, steak. And,
Yeah.
like, when I went to make steak, I put them on, and I closed up the lid, and I came inside. And when I came back out, the fire had kind of started burning, not like how it should have been. Like something like
It wasn't
like
it wasn't a
grease.
gas fire. It was a grease
Like
fire.
grease underneath it kind of started burning. I was like, oh man. It's like, all right, well let me turn off these ones because there's more fire over here than I want, and then that should go out and burn off the grease, and then I'll turn it back on when it's good. So I closed it back up and I went back inside, and then I talked for a little bit. I wasn't inside very long, so usually I was just kind of in and out because it was cold outside.
Mm-hmm.
So then when I went back out, there was like a deck, and there was like smoke along the top of the deck. And I was like, well, geez. And I opened up the grill, and there was just flames everywhere. I was like, Jesus. I'm like, what's burning back there? And I'm moving everything around, like trying to turned everything off because there's only one more burner that was still even on. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm moving all around,
Calvin
trying
was
to adjust
screaming,
it.
rice in the middle.
I'm like, okay. Like, let this calm down. And then when I brought it all in, I'm like, all right, guys, I actually saved the steaks. Mostly.
Yeah.
And then Calvin's like, that's saved. But overall, the insides were just the outside was very much more charred than I wanted
Yeah.
it to be. The inside was still pretty juicy and stuff, I think.
If
but-
you had told someone that, like, no, this is intentional, this is how they're meant to be prepared, they might have just gone with it. Like, they weren't really that bad.
No, it was just the outside was just like extra crunchy.
It was like blackened steak that was
Honestly,
like medium rare inside.
And I kind of thought it was appropriate because we had just had a fire at the fire pit, like right before that.
Sure, yeah.
And I was kind of missing like having charred hot dogs, so we had charred steak instead.
Yeah.
we did. Honestly, Melanie probably would have. Sometimes she likes like that crunchy, but it might have been just a little too much maybe. But she usually kind of likes that crunch sear around the outside of the steak, but that not to be like dry in the middle. So, but it was all right.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been a little better, but it was okay. Then we had like potatoes.
We
and
had a decent
stuff.
amount of barbecue sauce too.
Sure, yeah, we had barbecue sauce.
Sure.
Helped soften the outside, but yeah,
Yep.
that was a. I can't remember coming back in. I was like, shut the door. I was like, all right, everything's fine. And Eric looks at me like, what happened?
Was it not fine?
Because I was doing something on my laptop and I looked up and Aaron is like doing this like outside and I think he's like trying to get it like Eric. I can't hear, but there was just smoke around him. It was very funny.
Wasn't even the biggest disaster, at least not for me, because I brought all of my pour over coffee stuff, and I forgot my coffee grinder.
Mm-hmm.
So I was there with my backup whole beans with no coffee grinder, and I have to have my coffee. So Calvin and I had to go get that.
It was the first thing we did that morning.
And I also forgot my waffle maker because I was going to make waffles every morning.
Yep.
So I made pancakes, but we went out to get the coffee grinder. We also got a waffle maker. And I forgot about the waffle maker. And I just
he
made
forgot
more
we
pancakes.
got the waffle maker.
He was making more pancakes. Like,
Yeah.
Rick, I thought you were gonna make waffles. He goes, I forgot. So,
But the pancakes were good.
Superdora also said, but speaking of Hint Hunt, when can we expect the Better Call Saul Hint Hunt? Also, this Monday, 12/19, is 1 year since Rick finished the irregular Hint Hunt.
Oh, what an anniversary. So, Hint Hunt news. The Hint Hunt that I was going to release was too big
It's not
Too
ready
much.
yet.
for this one.
Yep.
It needs to marinate more.
He went too far.
Yeah, the team working on it said that they needed time for the
Team!
holidays.
The team.
The team.
So that one is postponed, and instead you will be getting a backup Hint Hunt, which I think that you will also enjoy.
The backup bill. It's just as much work.
I also like Rick has been like
Come in
you-
the next day and be like, I stayed up all night doing it.
Rick has also been like, oh, you guys can't know. Like,
Yeah.
you guys are going to have to do this stuff too. I was like, what?
Yeah, we don't know
Like,
the
I
big
have
one.
no idea what this is going to be.
Yeah, you guys are freaking out like team. We're also freaking out.
Yeah, I crunch is a big problem in the Hint Hunt industry, so like I don't want to contribute to that.
What?
The Hint Hunt
All we
industry.
know is that we're paying a team.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun. I can't wait, personally.
But yeah, it will see the light of day in a future Hint Hunt, and you will get a Hint Hunt this time soon.
Most likely next week, right?
Yeah.
Because Better Call Saul ends next week, I believe. At least on Patreon.
No.
Right?
Well, yeah. No, it ends on Christmas.
Well, that's next week, right? It's next. It's not this.
It's the next coming.
It's not
week.
this weekend, but it's next weekend.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I guess it's like a little over a week.
A week from what? Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah. So like a week and 2 days or so.
I don't know. I might try to release it on Saturday. So keep an eye out on the Discord in the Hint Hunt channel in the Blind Wave Discord.
Yeah.
I'll try to get it up on Saturday, I think.
On the 24th?
The 17th.
Oh, you said, okay. So this Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just making sure I knew what you were saying. All right. Anyone got anything else? Or do we need to cover the news thing, Eric, that you have? Or
Yeah, we can cover the news. So a lot of people already know about this, but we need to talk about the new direction of DC and the DC movies, right?
Yeah. I have
Which
heard something.
I think that we can all agree has been a bit of a roller coaster in terms of like continuity and
sure.
direction, the
Sure.
Snyder cut versus Joss Whedon, all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, I know recently they have like James Gunn like doing something with DC, right?
Yeah.
Is like some kind of like new addition that they're kind of like. It feels like,
Like-
he's gonna be like maybe like a Kevin Feige or
Yeah,
something like
he's-
that.
It's
Yeah,
gonna
so
be-
we have James Gunn and Peter Safran, who are both going to co-run DC. And we should say, if you haven't seen Black Adam, there's going to be a small spoiler for the aftercut of Black Adam here. We actually have seen Black Adam, and that movie reaction is going to be heading on to our early access tomorrow. So a general spoiler warning for that movie in the next like 5 minutes or so. But at the end of that, we were all very excited to see our boy Henry coming back as Superman, and it's been a long time coming, and I was just so happy in that moment, despite me having a big problem with the music.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, that is what goes on to the next thing that we're going to talk about, which is a tweet from James Gunn. I have it up here. Let me find where I just put it. I think I just had it right here. Okay, so James has been tweeting right now. They're creating the slate, right? They're coming up with like, what is going to be like a 5-10 year plan for DC, which in my opinion, I think is extremely needed.
They need some kind of idea of what to do.
They need an idea, but what that idea is going to be is a complete refresh of the universe of all of those characters. Reading through the tweets right here, Peter and I have a DC slate ready to go, which we couldn't have been more over the moon about. We'll be able to share some exciting information about our first projects at the beginning of the new year. Among those on the slate is Superman. In the initial stages, our story will be focusing on an earlier part of Superman's life, so the character will not be played by Henry Cavill. But we just had a great meeting with Henry, and we're big fans, and we talked about a number of exciting possibilities to work together in the future.
Sure.
So yes, Henry will not be playing Superman, and I think this is also an indication that all of the DC characters are going to be getting some type of reboot. That's me personally, and that's not James coming out and saying that, but I think this puts stuff like Aquaman 2 and Shazam 2 in a kind of weird place.
Sure.
As we have James and Peter try to figure out where DC's going to go. But I know a lot of people are very upset, both at James or WB, but I kind of personally think this is the right choice, unfortunately, and that's coming from somebody that loves Henry, personally loves Man of Steel. But I think that Warner Brothers, one of the worst things they've done, and you know what? They're doing a lot of really bad things, in my opinion, right now, like taking things off of HBO Max and not having stuff streamed.
I don't understand that as like a point of just let's remove content from HBO Max. I'm sure it's something to save themselves money and stuff, but I don't.
I truly think the worst thing that WB has done since they've tried to emulate anything from Marvel is just completely misuse Henry ever since Man of Steel. Both in making Man of Steel 2 a Batman film, and then doing whatever the fuck they thought they were doing with Justice League, and then just kind of squandering it. And it sucks that one of the best guys to ever play that role never got to play the version of the character that they said just 2 months ago he was going to play. We at Blind Wave here try to stay away from...
They said 2 months ago that
we at Blind Wave try to stay away from a lot of spoilers, but in me trying to review this thing, apparently when Black Adam came out, they had Henry come and say, yes, I'm returning to the character. We get to play a hopeful version of Superman that I've always wanted to play, that we were setting up with Man of Steel, And
now
and the stuff that happened in Man of Steel was going to create this hopeful Superman. And then Warner Brothers, in my opinion, has squandered that all the way up until they told the world they're going to do it. And now James Gunn has the unfortunate position of trying to say, like, guys, look, we're going to try to do this thing right, and that means we have to start over.
Yeah, it's like they've messed this up too much. Like, we need to just kind of...
Clean slate.
Yeah. Like, burn the house down.
Start over from scratch.
A whole new house.
Yeah.
I think that there's an argument to be made that you could keep, the existing characters, existing actors, and try to go with it. But there's just so
it
much
muddies the water too much
going on.
Yeah.
Like, you already have the internal Zack Snyder stuff happening, right? Where the fans split down the middle with people that want the Snyderverse, people that just want this thing to keep going. But I as much as I'm really sad for Henry, I do think it's the right decision.
I mean, the thing too that I don't know. I think the idea of the DC multiverse, it makes a possibility of doing a lot of things.
Sure.
But you need to be able to have that set up.
Yeah.
And like so much of their stuff just never got set up, which was my biggest problem with the initial Justice League, especially, was that you're introducing all these other characters that you're trying to catch up to Marvel, who spent time introducing these characters and making you,
Yeah.
you know, like I liked Wonder Woman, but she, you know, at one point she gets her movie and she gets a chance to be able to, I understand who she is, you know?
Yeah.
But if you just throw in like Cyborg and not spend any time really developing who that character is, except for like in the Snyder Cut does a much better job of that.
Yeah.
But you kind of lose connection with a lot of these characters, which is kind of what makes, I think, the like Avengers, the first Avengers one work better. Where you're like, oh, I understand like Captain America and what he went through becoming this, and who Tony Stark is and how he became this, and you know, and like there's just more there. Sure, they tossed in like Hawkeye and stuff like that too, which I didn't know as much.
Yeah.
But I feel like they did a lot more of that with like Flash, and that was before Aquaman, wasn't it? Like we didn't have Aquaman, we didn't have Flash, we didn't have like at least we got like Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman. Like we kind of had them a little bit before that, but there was just too much messiness. So
I mean, you know, we introduced Wonder Woman in the Batman Superman movie that had the death of Superman and Doomsday in it already and stuff. Like it was just
too fast.
It was kind of a transparent, like, let's play catch up to what the success of Marvel. And I always felt like, man, it just seemed like a mistake that you're doing this type of thing. And I think that James Gunn recognizes those mistakes and is going to be like, hey, we're going to try to do this right.
Yeah.
Now, when I say, like, you know, the Shazam movie, Aquaman 2, even Patty Jenkins has come out and said, like, Wonder Woman 3 doesn't seem to be happening, even though they had plans to do that, you know, to complete that trilogy, which is, I'm pretty sure, something that she sacrificed doing Rogue Squadron for.
Man, that sucks.
Yeah.
I'd also be curious on John Cena.
Sure.
Yeah,
like
Peacemaker is going to be interesting because I think that's the one that has, like, the best chance of survival in the transition, but also it has some pretty heavy ties to current canon, you know, so I don't know. Yeah, I did. I did see that one, and I think that, you know, she has said too, like, Rogue Squadron's not dead. She was just prioritizing Wonder Woman. That was the thing that was very important to her. We do have a statement here from Henry himself that he put out on his Instagram. He said, I have just had a meeting with James Gunn and Peter Safran, and it's sad news, everyone. I will, after all, not be returning as Superman. After being told by the studio to announce my return back in October prior to their hire, this news isn't the easiest, but that's life. The changing of the guard is something that happens. I respect that. James and Peter have a universe to build. I wish them and all involved with the new universe the best of luck and the happiest of fortunes. For those that have been by my side through the years, we can mourn for a bit, but we must remember Superman is still around. Everything he stands for still exists, and the examples he sets for us are still there. My turn to wear the cape has passed, but what Superman stands for never will. It's been a fun ride with you all, onwards and upwards.
Yeah, I love that as a, like, I get his, like, sadness of not being able to be Superman anymore, but I love him talking about, like, what Superman stands for and, like, like it feels like he's someone who, like, cares and enjoys that character. You know what I mean?
Course.
As opposed to just, like, I don't know. I don't want to specify anyone necessarily, but sometimes I feel like actors take roles just to have roles.
Sure.
And they don't necessarily care about source material or the character it was before or anything. And I've seen that happen many times. Versus this feels like, well, I want to be this character, and this is such a cool thing. And he has that kind of, like, I don't know, nerdiness about him with like
definitely.
Witcher and Superman and you know, building his computer with all these giant muscles, you know, like it just there's something more about him being Superman than like someone else, you know.
Well, I mean that's the reason why he stepped down from being Geralt, is because they were taking it in a direction where he wasn't happy with.
I hope I hope it's just that, and it's not that, well, I'm going to be Superman.
Well,
so I don't have time
that would be
to
the
Geralt,
really unfortunate
because
thing.
if that's what it is, then it sucks that he's not also going to be Superman now, and he's not Geralt, and that's why he turned that down.
Yeah.
Although if he's for sure not going to be Superman, I would hope that he would try to like double down, like try to get like executive producer for The Witcher and take it back in the direction that he would be satisfied with.
Yeah.
Maybe, but I don't know. That's wishful thinking on my part.
I want Kevin Feige coming to him and be like, hey, I didn't work out, but you want to be Captain Britain?
Captain Britain.
Oh man, I feel like he would be a good Adam Warlock too.
They
Sure.
already have Adam
I know
Warlock,
they already
right?
have him, but it would be cool.
I'm sure
Again,
there's-
wishful thinking.
I'm sure there's something that would be great for him to be, you know?
Yeah.
And also, like, it's not the end of the world in terms of, like, him never being involved in this DC project. I mean, Chris Evans famously was two very major characters in different universes.
Sure.
So,
For sure.
You know, you could go the route of having him be a Jor-El if you wanted to.
Sure.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
mean, there's been tons of Superman entities where they've had previous Supermans being other roles or whatnot. So that could be cool. I wouldn't be against that. But
Now, in terms,
I had heard at some point, it was on the radio, I think a week ago or two maybe, where I think it was Jason Momoa who had said he wasn't going to reprise being Aquaman after Aquaman 2, but it sounded like it was his choice from the way they talked about it on the radio.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's anything to do with this too, or if it's separate from it, you know?
No, I mean, you know, he famously has said that, you know, he really wants to play Lobo.
Sure.
Which he would look exactly like. And
maybe with his James Gunn when they bring him back for that instead.
I would be shocked if that doesn't end up happening at this point. And also, there are some other outliers like the Matt Reeves Batman, right? The Batman that came out last year. That is getting a sequel, and for what we understand, that has nothing to do with the current DC slot. It's all on its own.
Yeah, that felt very on its own.
As is Joker. Joker getting a sequel as well. So those projects should be relatively unaffected, but it is going to be weird to, like, you know, they're going to come out and have to promote Aquaman 2 and Shazam 2, and people are going to be so...
Does this mean they're scrapping The Flash?
No, The Flash, I think, is still also supposed to come out. I mean...
All right. I would have rather Batgirl at this point than Flash.
I want to say, like, well, maybe they'll try to figure something out and put stuff on HBO Max, but then, you know, then you have all the HBO Max stuff that's happened this last week, and I'm like, well, fuck, who cares? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm more upset, honestly, with the taking off stuff like Westworld and Raised by Wolves and some of these other shows that... found a home in HBO Max, and due to tax things, they're like, oh, let's just take it off.
Tax and residuals, I think.
Yeah.
Not wanting to pay actors what they are due, regardless of your contracts, honestly. I really foresee a new strike coming from the Actors Guild when it comes to this stuff.
I see. I mean, that was a big thing with Black Widow and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
I was going to say.
Shoot. Emily Blunt and The Rock, what was that? Jungle Cruise, right? Like, there was like... It was about them putting, because the movie was originally going to be theaters, and then they put it there, and then there was a big thing. It's like, well, what's the thing with this, you know? So, I don't know. There's been a few things with that I'm just like, I don't.
I mean, I really do. I gotta say, I am excited to see what James Gunn does, because even though, like, he's not my favorite director of all time or anything, I've generally enjoyed a lot of the stuff he does, and the focus he puts on characters that I think WB has sorely lacked for much of its DC time in the last, 15 years or so. So we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's going to be a weird time, but I do think it is the right decision, but man, I just feel bad for Henry. You know? Like, especially being asked, hey, go out and tell people you're coming back. And then have that after credit scene, and like, it's gonna happen, and then they're like, oh, actually, it's not. It just sucks.
It seems like such a misstep that they've done.
Yeah.
That they had him announce it back in October.
Yeah.
And then take it away like 2 months later.
Yeah,
or maybe not even. It depends on when they actually.
Yeah,
announced
it's actually
it.
when they started talking about this deal with James Gunn, right? And they had to have known what direction he was wanting to take.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know.
I mean,
or maybe over the last month they were looking at it and they're like, you know what? This is fucked. Like, I don't know how we can save this.
I mean, it's turbulent over there. They scrapped the Batgirl movie after it had filmed. You know, they had Brandon Fraser in it.
Yeah.
You know, like, Jesus. You know, the Flash movie, like you said, Aaron, like, the Ezra Miller stuff has made me like, okay, sure, that's going to come out. Maybe I'll watch it. Maybe I won't, but I'm not really excited for it because I kind of don't want that guy to succeed right now. I don't know.
I mean, I get what you mean. The idea of it's a thing of, like, he seems like every time I hear the news about him, it's another, I don't know, assault or some kind of terrible thing that has happened. Yeah. And I'm like, why are they still just scrap Flash, put out Batgirl. There you go. You know, like, just do that. Why?
And, I also wanted to just extend. Right?
You know?
I also want to extend my, sympathy for all the really hardcore DC movie fans that have really been enjoying all that's been happening so far. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of the direction that they've gone in, but there are a lot of people that are like, hey, these actors, these characters, these movies, I've enjoyed them so far, and I can't wait to see Henry come back. Like, even though I think this is the right decision on just this part, like, I feel really bad for those people as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, I get you. I mean, I've thought that the whole DC universe had been kind of like, probably since Man of Steel. I feel like Man of Steel was fine because it was on its own and there was no connection to anything, you know? It was starting things. And then it kept moving on, and it kept on like, what are they doing with this, and why are they doing this, and why are they doing this? Like, Wonder Woman I thought was good, you know? I like Wonder Woman and Man of Steel a lot.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the thing that soured me from the beginning is that I feel like Man of Steel really works when it has the sequel to tell you this is what happened to Clark after he made the worst choice of his life.
Sure.
Right? Like, he had to do what he did, but in doing so, killed the last of his kind and killed. And I'll never do that again. And we kind of just didn't get that. It turned into like, all right, we got to catch up to the Avengers now.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that was really the first step of like, oh, I don't think they really care.
I think that the DC universe is very similar to Spider-Man 3 in the idea of storytelling versus... Here's all the producers and companies and stuff that are like, well, we need you to do this, and this is what we want. And it's not letting like the content creator kind of side of it be able to do stuff. The writers and the directors who have maybe a vision of what they want, it's not letting them tell a story. Mm-hmm. It's well, this is what we want, and this is how we're gonna get money, and you're gonna put this stuff, and you're gonna do this stuff, or else you don't get a movie. And then it's like, well, you've tied my hands. Now I have to do these things, you know, and it doesn't work as well.
Yeah.
Like, we want more action figures, so put in Sandman and Venom and New Goblin. It's like, why? Why are you doing all this?
Got to sell those back credit cards.
Yeah, pick one. He's already struggling with the suit.
I did see, I was going on here to get my sources and make sure I had the quotes correct, and there's this very funny post that says, new actor Henry Cavill just showed up to read for the role of Superman, and he has a giant mustache.
Henry Cavill.
I love that.
All right. No, that's too bad. I'm assuming then like anything tied to that universe then is going to be like even like Black Adam. Like there won't be any more of those, even though because that's another one of those where like I feel like Henry and The Rock both really wanted to be those roles.
Yeah.
You know? And now you're removing both of them, and I'm like, I think that they were probably good for those roles, you know? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe they were. I don't know.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to have different ideas on that. But I enjoyed... I don't know. I enjoyed the Black Adam a lot more than I enjoyed most of the other DC movies that they've released, you know? I think.
I mean, I've honestly, I really liked the Snyder Cut. It's just I haven't rewatched it because it's 4 fucking hours.
I don't,
you know?
I don't necessarily count that one within the DC universe, you know? Because I feel like they
it's like an alternate universe that should have
thing.
existed.
Yeah. Like I feel like that's kind of where that is. But I think like the Black Adam movie that they did, like with what the thing that I think makes it work better is that it doesn't really feel that connected to anything else.
It feels like a comic book.
You know, yeah. It just,
like a one-off.
It's like we're going to make a story, kind of like, you know, Wonder Woman doesn't necessarily feel connected to the rest of the stuff. And I think that's why it works so well. But then when they really try to force those connections is when it starts falling apart.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, that's too bad. I was wondering what the news was. I was hoping the news was going to be kind of in the opposite way of like, Henry Cavill's coming back. And I'm like, oh, shit, yes, I'm so excited. But.
Nope. I think it's just a huge omission of Warner Brothers being like, you know what? We don't know what we're doing. Please, James Gunn, save us.
Sure.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, considering that James Gunn, we all have to remember, was fired from the MCU because of stuff, and then DC snatched him up for Suicide Squad, and now he's going to be their savior? Is that the right word?
I mean, we'll have to see. Time will tell, right?
Yeah, cleanup guy? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I wish him. I wish him and Peter all the success because I want to see cool movies.
I wish them success for DC fans.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I am a DC fan. I love
fans should get good movies too.
Yeah, I love those characters. You know, it's very different, but I mean, those characters are my first comic book characters. I watched DC way before I watched Marvel back in the day. You know, so we'll see.
Was it Suicide Squad he was supposed to do initially? What was it that he was supposed to do that they kicked him out? And then wasn't it Marvel that picked him up for Guardians?
He got fired after Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah. And then he wasn't going to be able to do Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
That's what I'm thinking of. Okay.
And then they hired him for Suicide Squad. Remember Akasan was here when they dropped that news and we did like a video for his channel. You remember that?
Sure, yeah. No, it's just been a while. I'm like, I know he was doing something. He got fired because of that and then brought back in.
Batista said he wasn't going to do it if James Gunn wasn't doing it.
Yeah. And now,
that's right. I remember all that now.
And Feige apparently was like, you can do Suicide Squad. Just come back and do Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So he got to do the holiday special and that. And then now, I think after that, now that that's wrapped up, and I'm
They'll
sure
do Guardians 3, and then they're going to move on to. And then he'll move on to DC.
Yeah, right now they're just in the planning stages, but they've planned enough where they know they're not going to be borrowing from anything.
So has he announced he's not going to be directing? He's going to be kind of like more.
From what I understand, he'll be writing a Superman movie.
Oh, so he will be.
He's actually announced that it's like I said, it was going to be a story about Clark's earlier life, not necessarily Smallville. But maybe Clark more as
in between,
like Superman Year One, like Clark Kent as a reporter.
So he's gonna be younger.
Yeah, which unfortunately Henry never got to do too because they sidelined into Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah.
No, I mean I know you really like Superman, so I understand your frustrations too. Of I feel like Henry was a great Superman, and they didn't use him into the potential they could have.
Yeah,
definitely.
I mean, Man of Steel was one of my favorites just because, I know the Superman character, and I thought that was a very interesting way to let that character feel guilt, and once that guilt solidified as trauma in his life, that creates Superman as an ideal, not just his dad saying, you're really fucking strong, so, take care of the humans, I mean, he does kind of say that in that movie, but... It has to have consequence, and I thought that was very heavy, and I think that could be really interesting for a Superman that knows why he does what he does, doesn't just say it.
Sure.
Unfortunately, he never got a chance to say it because the next time you see him, Batman's off killing people, and you're like, well, shit.
No, I get you.
Yeah. But for those that are really enjoying Superman, or really do enjoy Superman, you still got Superman and Lois, which is... For the TV show of its size, scope, and budget, a fantastic watch.
Superman and Lois I love. I think that's great. And Tyler Hoechlin.
Yeah.
Hecklin?
Hecklin.
Tyler Hoechlin I think does a really good job as a Clark and a Superman.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that. I feel like sometimes it's we've had conversations about Batman and stuff too, where lots of people are like, oh, Michael Keaton did a good job as a Bruce and a Batman. And then you'll get to other people where it's well, maybe I like George Clooney's, Bruce, but not as Batman, or I like Val Kilmer's, Batman, but not as Bruce, or something like that. You hear about that. I think the same thing kind of happens sometimes with Superman. Christopher Reeves was really good with it.
Yeah.
But I think that Tyler Hoechlin does really good for both too. I like Henry Cavill a lot.
Yeah.
In the role. Sometimes I think that his Clark Kent is still just a really strong. I would be intimidated by him still. We
don't get a chance to develop it.
Yeah. So I never had that where I'm oh, he looks weak here. Yeah. It's always I would still be intimidated by this reporter.
Yeah.
Maybe not as much as Superman, but he looks intimidating to me, you know?
Yeah.
So it would have been cool to be able to see that and see him be a reporter and actually be Clark Kent.
Yeah. It was very funny after stream. I got off stream last night and I had a message from Ultra Sergeant, who was one of our editors, and he was editing our Black Adam reaction.
Yeah.
And he just, in all caps, Rick hasn't seen Superman 1 and 2. He's do a reaction.
I've only seen Superman 4, The Quest for Peace.
Yeah. I'm no, he's only seen the bad movie. The movie he heard was real bad.
Multiple times.
Yeah. So you've never seen those first two, especially those first two. We'll have to do something with that. Ugh.
Did this news drop today?
I believe it dropped last night.
Late last night?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I was just thinking, I was oh man, I know Ultra said he wasn't feeling well. Maybe this is why.
I know, poor Ultra. It was actually Ultra.
I need a day for myself.
Yeah. It was after that, him messaging me about that he said, oh yeah, by the way, you might want to talk about this because it's pretty big. And it's not we're going to be able to capture this in a trailer reaction.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So in the new DC universe, what's your number one dream cast? I'll start with mine.
Yeah, okay.
Christopher Sean as Nightwing.
Oh, okay. No, I'm fine with that.
Hell yeah.
I was so worried what you were going to say at first when you had it
Yeah.
immediately. I'm like, oh no, what's it going to be?
Christopher Sean is Nightwing.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, that would be great.
Yep.
That would be
like
really
an older
good.
Dick Grayson.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, it depends on the era of what we do, right?
Yeah.
Like in whatever they do, if we have a younger Superman, are we going to have older Batman or younger Batman as well? You know, like what route do they go
I mean,
with some of
from
it?
what we know now, the only thing we know now is the slate includes a younger Superman right now, and we also know that the Matt Reeves Batman is going to be happening. I imagine they're going to want to do something slightly different from that, so we're not having this. You know, I'm not really sure exactly.
Man, I don't know. I've liked some of them as the like I know some people were against Gal Gadot, or like in the past they were for Wonder Woman, but I enjoyed her Wonder Woman.
See, I need to look at Christopher Sean's butt
What?
He can
because
do
Nightwing
squats.
has a famous,
Is that what you're googling?
very famous butt.
I mean, it was in this one movie I watched at one point. There was a point about it, I think, but I didn't know it was a famous thing.
All right, I think we're good.
I can't imagine you. There's a Christopher
I
Sean.
think we're good.
buttocks.
But man, I don't know. So do I just start picking characters and casting them, even though I don't know the story? Is that the idea? Like, I mean, I think you should give, like, if people really want it and they would be good for the role, like Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Like, giving him Lobo's a great idea. You
I mean,
know, but
I personally think you need to try to go relatively unknown with most of the main.
you think so?
Yeah, I think that these are the type of roles that can make an actor's career.
Sure. Yeah. Right.
You know?
It's like Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how big Ewan McGregor was. I knew he did Train Spotting, but that didn't
Sure.
feel like a huge blockbuster type of movie or anything, right? But like, I feel like Star Wars really blew him up a lot more.
Yeah.
You know, no one knew Mark Hamill
Yeah.
or any of that back in the old days. So like, yeah, I get what you mean. That's why when they made the sequel trilogy, they didn't want to get famous people for the roles necessarily. They wanted to find some new faces and stuff and bring them in.
agreed.
So it could be hard to do that.
I'm not really sure in terms of the actual casting, and like I said, I think you could go relatively unknown and get some younger actors that can play the roles for quite some
For
time.
a while,
You know?
sure.
But what I would say is do your due diligence now and find some kick-ass stunt teams that you can trust to put on the screen for extended amount of times where you're not having all of these just really shitty edited fight scenes. You know, like I think that Zack Snyder does this fantastically. Some people might say that, well, the other stuff I don't like, but I don't think anybody can say his fight scenes aren't amazing, you know? But I can't really say that for we watched Black Adam. I thought it was fine, but there's nothing special in there for me.
If that's the case and we're going young,
Yeah.
put Tanner Buchanan into something.
All right, I got to look this up.
Who's he?
Tanner Buchanan is Robbie from Cobra Kai.
Ooh, that kid. That's a good kid. I like that kid.
I like his
Good.
acting. His movements and stuff I think are really good, you know? Like, I think he could do fighting stuff too. But, like, I don't know. Make him, I don't know what the best
Oliver
role for him
Queen?
is, you know? Who? Oliver Queen,
maybe an Oliver
I don't
Queen?
know. He could
A
be
young Oliver.
yeah, maybe he could be a young Oliver. He could have been.
Or
I like that kid. He's good.
No, I like him a lot. I think he's
what
really
is it?
good.
Arsenal?
When you start talking about like fighting and good fighting and stuff too, I was like, oh man, Cobra Kai, Robbie
Sure.
would be really cool
Yeah.
for something, you know? Grab him.
I just mean I feel like there hasn't been there's been really good advances in a lot of cinematography when it comes to visual effects and that, but in terms of like fight choreography, there's been crazy stuff in the more like amateur community of fight choreography, but not necessarily like on the big screen. The big screen is like, wow, look at these effects, but I want to see, wow, look at these. Like, I need to believe Batman can do these things and it's not just an effect, you know?
Yeah.
I personally, I liked the Batman, but it didn't wow me in the way that it feels like it's wowed some other people. With who's the guy that played Batman?
Wait,
That-
you talking about
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I thought he himself did a really good job, but I didn't really think like the movie itself showed me anything that I hadn't already seen 1,000 times. Like I want to see some new stuff. I think that you really got to push that, in my opinion.
Sure.
I saw a guy who I didn't know was Colin Farrell right away.
That's true.
I've never seen that before.
Really cool effects and makeup and stuff like that. I just, I've always been a fan of just really, really fun fight scenes. And someone in the chat, like Shang-Chi, like that bus scene, like I don't see that type of thing anymore,
Yeah.
Like you see a lot of like kind of like mid and close shots edited together to make a scene, not a fight planned to show you something special.
I was trying to look up young actors, and one of the best reactions we've ever done, Fast 9, came to mind. And I was like, how old is Han? Because I love Han.
I love Han.
Oh,
Do you want to guess how old Han is? I was shocked.
He's older.
I mean, I don't know exactly how old, but I'd say probably as long as he's been going in his 50s.
I would say early 50s.
Yeah, he's 50.
50?
Exactly.
I was shocked.
Oh, yeah.
I just know because of like I know when Fast 3 came out.
Sure. I mean, it makes sense.
And
now
I know
that I think about it.
he was younger then, but not like
Younger,
he wasn't
but he was
young.
still older than the main character.
He was out of school and stuff
Yeah.
and whatnot, So like I knew he wasn't like 18 there. So, but I mean that hasn't been that long ago.
But yeah, even if you've never watched any of our Fast and the Furious reactions, watch Fast 9 reaction.
Yeah. It's truly a great experience on film.
Who's your Lex Luthor? Because now we're going to have a different Lex, and we tried something very different with the previous Jesse Eisenberg. I feel like, okay, who are your big staples that you gotta put up there?
But are they like not famous? Or
I feel like someone
semi?
like Lex, you can because you had it was Gene Hackman back then,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
like not anymore, but Kevin Spacey. Like you had some actors that had some chops. Not saying Kevin Spacey didn't have chops. He's an amazing actor. He just
older. He'd have to be older than Superman.
I would say a little
Right?
bit at least, yeah.
Or do you want him like the same age? Do you want it more like Smallville? Mm-hmm. Or do you want him to be like? I always felt like, and I don't know, I might not be right because I don't know how old or how fast Superman really ages.
Yeah.
But I always felt like Gene Hackman was older than what Superman was.
Yeah, sure.
And I was like,
Smallville was really one of the first things,
Yeah.
at least for me, that put him as Pierce.
it just felt like a moment of like he has had more experience doing this stuff, but this guy is like, how do you fight Superman?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't think the age is as important as like making that feeling that Lex Luthor is like, when it comes to the type of power a human can achieve without any superpowers, he is the most powerful. Does that make any sense? Like, he needs to come across as like, I don't really have any good examples right now because all the richest people in our world right now are like crazy loons.
Yeah.
I think maybe the best one would be older, but Gus from Breaking Bad.
Gwen Caller, yeah. He played him in didn't he play Lex Luthor in a voice? Harley Quinn? Am I right about that? But yes, that would
But
be.
also Bryan Cranston
Yeah.
could be good too, maybe.
You know what? I'm for that because as much as I like Giancarlo, I think it's too close to his character in The Boys.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
suppose.
How about?
Which I think is like the point.
Yeah.
What if you had Andre Brower? Is that his name?
Oh.
Shit.
Could he be like go from like Brooklyn Nine-Nine comedies thing? But I think he could be very intimidating.
He's
Yeah.
got the voice.
Who?
It's Captain Holt
Captain
from Brooklyn
Holt
Nine-Nine.
from
Oh,
Brooklyn
yes.
Nine-Nine.
Oh.
Like I think he could be fun.
Some really good things in chat. Cillian Murphy
Yeah, I
Cillian
can see
Murphy.
that.
or Mads Mikkelsen, I think could be good, maybe. John Hamm.
Bald
John Hamm was,
Hamm might be
he's
weird.
older now, but he was always the fan casting for Batman.
The best one, obviously, is Nicolas Cage.
I'm
for
not
Lex
upset
Luthor?
by
For
that.
Lex Luthor, that
Yeah.
might be interesting.
Like,
Now-
he can be Superman.
I want people to remind people too, like, don't just pick people that have played a bald guy before. Like,
Sure.
people can shave their heads.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, I would shave Nicolas Cage's head and do that. I just would want a full audience that could take it seriously. I know I could take it seriously, but some others might not be able to.
Yeah, I don't know. That could be interesting, I suppose. Oh man, yeah, I don't know. I don't know who else. Right now, I'm just stuck on Holt. Like after you guys said about Gus, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah. And then you guys like, maybe not because it might be too similar. I'm like, oh, you know what? Then that guy popped in my head. But yeah, I don't know. I think it depends on what they want to do. I had the idea before when we talked about if they would like, what would be the future of DC. And I think that there's some things that when they shifted into like even New 52, that they did kind of like a reboot to like the universe and stuff. And I think you could have done that, but I don't think the current universe was established enough to earn it. You know what I mean?
I agree.
So it's like, well, you could, but it feels like that's a story you could really build into in the future, and you haven't really done much with it now to do that.
From what I understand, that's what they were going to do with the Flash movie.
Yeah. I mean, Flashpoint could have kind of really messed around with a lot
that's how the
of
New
stuff,
52 in the comics, turned out. But I kind of agree with you. It's like, I don't think you've earned that because your Flash character hasn't had his own movie yet.
Sure, yeah.
Like, are
you going to have him go back and remove himself from being Flash? And then, like...
Your main actor is a crazy person that's terrorizing the whole world. So I don't know if that's where you want to jump off at.
Yeah, I don't know either. Why am I Scarecrow? What? I just looked over at chat and said, Aaron is Scarecrow.
Joker casting. It's not even a joke. I think he would be good.
For
Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah, I saw. Have you seen the video
Have you
of
seen
him
this
doing it?
casting tape?
It is unsettling.
Why? So, like, I don't know. What's his voice like? He has that, oh, hello, doggy, right? Why is he so serious? Oh, man. I don't know. I think there's so many things. I want to see. I think if I saw like the next movie to get a good feel of like where they're going with it, I more easily could kind of start choosing because I don't know
like what kind of flavor actor you want there.
Well, like what's gonna fit in there well to meld with what I'm seeing already, But
Anthony Starr is the Reverse Flash. Oh, that's not bad.
I'd love Anthony Starr.
That's not bad.
Anthony Starr in anything. Like he could be Luthor.
Oh yeah, just have him play all the characters.
have him be all the characters.
But Reverse Flash especially that would be really interesting. I like that idea.
I don't know why this makes me laugh, but I typed in Nicolas Cage and we're just scrolling, and New York Post has from 2 days ago, Nicolas Cage, I thought I was an alien as a child. And I was like, all right, sounds like Nick Cage.
Sounds like him.
I don't know. It was interesting.
Sure.
All right. Well, I hope... It's weird. I feel like this is probably the right course of action. I just feel bad for the people who have worked so hard on things and wanted to do more and won't get a chance to.
I'm not trying to say this as a joke, but I might straight up say, like, just keep Ray Fisher as Cyborg because he went through so much shit.
Sure, and he didn't really get to do anything.
He didn't get to do anything. The difference between the Whedon cut and the Snyder cut for Cyborg is astronomical.
It was huge,
and it was amazing, and I absolutely loved it. And it was just like we got to like peek into this alternate universe, and there's a part of me that's just like, just keep him because you kind of owe him. So that'd be like the only person like just keep the same person.
Yeah, dude, I love this in chat. Well, one, this is just fun, but John Cryer as Lex Luthor. I'm like, yeah, you could do that.
He did a good job.
But I love Sterling K as John Stewart would be great. I love that. Sterling K. Brown. He's from This Is Us. He was like the brother of the father in Black Panther. I believe. Mm-hmm. He was like Black Panther's uncle.
Okay.
Like one of the War Dogs.
Yeah. He did the voice in Frozen 2. Like I think he's really good. He's also in, I don't know what this. There's a new movie where he's like a pastor doing, I don't really know what he's doing. It looked really weird, but it looked comical and dumb at the same time.
Okay.
So I don't know about that one. But he's in a few things, but I don't feel like he's one of those where I don't think he's like huge. Mm-hmm. But I think he's a good actor. Oh, he was the dentist in the box. Yeah, that's right. Remember the dentist in the box in Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Okay. Now I know who you're
that's
talking
him.
about.
Yep.
Him.
Got it.
I name all these things. Rick's like, I don't know any of that stuff.
Nope.
But I forgot he was in Brooklyn.
I think he would make a pretty good Lex Luthor too.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Especially like if you take into account like what he did there in the box,
Yeah.
That could be a lot of fun. I like that a lot.
Oh, that would be interesting. Bill Hader as Lex Luthor.
Maybe.
Maybe.
All right. I feel like we could go down a big rabbit hole naming off so many people for.
I mean, we're doing
different
exactly
things
what
and stuff,
James Gunn's doing right now. It's like, I don't fucking know.
Who are we gonna get for this?
What he needs to do is just cast. do casting calls and look at people.
Right.
Yep.
I'm gonna start making sure to order these questions because sometimes we get questions and stuff too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unless Rick's already doing that. Is that why you went? Oh.
No, I thought you were like ordering something. Like, what are you ordering during the podcast?
Pizza. No.
Yeah.
I see what you meant.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go through these and stuff too. But if you guys do have questions or anything, make sure you guys submit those, and we will get into those here soon.
Oh, we didn't really talk about too much, but my small little topic during the cabin that we had lasagna, and you guys, I think most of you guys tried having cottage cheese with it for the first time.
I did.
How'd you feel about that? Because that's always something I've always had. I've always recognized it as it's weird.
Yeah.
But it's just a thing that like we just had out on the table when we would have lasagna.
I'm glad I did it. I don't think I'll ever do it again.
Probably won't do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My thing is I don't think that I would eat it enough. Like I would eat some of that with that.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'd eat enough of it. Like
Gotcha.
it would go bad. But it was okay.
But it's not one of those
go
things where it's like,
bad.
what the fuck are you doing?
Like
Yeah,
if
okay.
it was around when I'm eating lasagna, I might eat some with it.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'd eat it any other time because
Gotcha.
I'm not huge on cottage cheese. It feels weird because I said this then too, but it feels like it's the stuff you're supposed to get rid of when you know milk's bad. But it's like, here, eat this one. I'm like,
Yep.
shouldn't I throw
No,
this away?
these ones are good.
These are the good ones of these, you know?
Yeah,
The
it's got
clumps.
good bacteria.
It's the good milk clumps.
You need bacteria.
It's true.
do.
My mom growing up always used to eat tomatoes and cottage cheese, which is kind of like
That's kind of
lasagna
similar.
and
I can see
cottage
that.
cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, ricotta cheese and cottage cheese is very close together, so it kind of works, as Dr. Teak says in the chat.
All right, I've got
Calvin,
all-
you didn't answer. You didn't want to offend
Huh?
me? Or?
I'd had
you
it
did?
before.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did
I like
have
it.
it.
Okay.
That's right.
I don't have it every time, but if it's there, I'll have it.
Gotcha. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd way rather have garlic bread.
Oh,
I've had it with
Oh,
spaghetti more.
yes.
Yeah.
Man, now I want lasagna time.
I
for
just
dinner
want
now.
garlic bread.
Garlic
damn
bread's
it.
great.
We threw one away, Aaron.
I'm gonna have to. Don't remind me. We cleared out our refrigerator, and the whole time my soul was just slowly dying. Rick's like, "Throw it away." I'm
Yeah.
like, but
Our
like, look,
refrigerator's
look, it's past the expiration
broken
date
right now.
And I'm like, "That says Best Buy. It's just not as good."
Means the store has to throw it out if it's that date. If you're not allowed to buy it, you're probably not allowed to eat it.
I suppose. But yeah, no, I think it was pretty good. That was a good. It was a good trip because we had like lasagna, we had like hot dogs and hamburgers,
dogs and
we had
hamburgers.
steaks,
Chili.
we had chili,
Chili was
we
great.
had pancakes and eggs.
Mhm.
I think that's everything. I had Oreos.
Chocolate.
Oreos.
Yeah. Oreos were good. Eric didn't eat the whole pack.
I think I had 4.
Yeah. See? Yeah. Says Eric was like, I'll eat them all. I'm like, Eric, why don't you just grab like 4 and you just eat those 4?
When I say I'll eat them all, I'm not saying like, I don't know, I'll sit down with everybody and eat them. It's like, no, it's when people go to bed and I'm alone and I'm like, they're still there. I can get them. That's
It's a good
what
thing
happens
too,
to me
because I put a
at home.
tripwire on the steps.
It's fucking 3 a.m. and I'm at the fridge with milk and eating. You know, I gotta stop myself.
All right, I
man.
do have everything set up now, so make sure you guys, if you have questions or anything, we'll get to those here soon.
Get them in.
I don't know what else we have right now that everyone wanted to cover. I knew that was a big one, so I want to make sure we cover the DC stuff. And then
Remember, we can come back.
if we remember, we can come back. Do you want to jump into questions now then?
I don't have anything else.
Since it's been so long, actually like take some thoughts and stuff from chat and
Yeah.
see if there's things we've missed or whatever that we should have talked about or whatnot. So, alrighty, let me see here then. Shiraz Saeed says, now that you are all pet owners, be it willingly or unwillingly, Aaron, if your pet replaces your heart, what abilities will you get?
Oh, damn. That's a good question.
Mine is just an unending love for every person I see. Like, Obi doesn't have the concept that there are people that, 1, don't like him, but 2, would ever hurt him. Like, he doesn't understand that. He just loves everybody.
Loves everybody.
To a fault, maybe. Definitely. Because he would just run away. To go say hi to the entire world.
I mean, I have more than one animal
You
at
do.
home. I don't know. It would depend on which one, right? Like, there's one who is kind of sweet most of the time, but only to like me or Leon, I feels like.
Yeah.
There's another one who like will beg for your attention and will sit at your feet and just paw at your leg constantly. Like, quit, go away. I don't have time. I'm trying to make dinner. And then there's other ones who just run away and will like, they don't want to see you or anything. So I don't know which one would like. I guess I'd want the one who's like sweet sometimes, and then hides away sometimes.
Yeah.
Be in the middle of that. Not the one that eats all the time. There's one that not all the time, but eats a lot.
You pick the one that's most like you.
Sure, yeah.
Sweet sometimes.
Yeah, sweet sometimes not. That sounds great. Yeah.
Okay.
I like that one. That's a good one. Done. This was easy. Wow.
I guess GG, I would be so chill, but so big.
So big.
And hurt things I don't mean to because I'm so big.
Rick, you break things you don't mean to now.
I do. I just be much bigger and break much bigger things.
Much stronger things.
Have like that really long cat torso, like when you pick them up, like by like the front. Like, how are you so long? You're not this long.
And no one would be able to see me like on a dark floor and trip over me.
Yeah.
If I had to pick Loki, I would be very upset if you tried to like talk to me or move me when I'm sleepy.
Yeah.
Nimue, I wouldn't have a thought in my little head. Sam doesn't like to be scratched in the typical way, so he'd probably be a bit more standoffish, but if you're sitting on the couch, I would cuddle with you.
Yeah.
River is always hungry, no matter what. We have to always put her on diet food. And Dean is just, he has resting bitch face, but he may be like the most insistently cuddly of our cats.
Gotcha.
And he's always like, if you walk into the room and he sees you, he just until you pay attention to him.
There you go.
Good question.
Yeah.
Do we have the same number?
5.
Damn.
You said,
I
damn, why?
I never wanted to tie you. Because not only do you just have 5 cats, I have 5 cats, 4 kids.
Yeah,
House is crazy, ridiculous. Dinsdale says, I got surprise traded a shiny Hydreigon in Pokemon today.
Cool.
Or Hydreigon. In the spirit of the holidays, what's the best surprise gift you've received? So it doesn't have to be Pokemon, but just like, have you ever received a really good surprise gift?
Oh, that's a good shiny. Sorry.
I don't remember if it was for anything specifically, but Rick gave me Power Ranger shoes that were awesome.
Yep.
I've been wearing them like I think it was all year. I don't know if it was for my birthday or if
I
it
think
was
it was
just
for your birthday.
If it was just
It
here.
was for your birthday. It was just like not on your birthday, right? It
I don't remember.
was like either early or something.
I just remember like here.
Well, it came early because I want to make sure they fit and they were good because shoes are a
Sure.
very personal thing. And like I wanted to make sure you made that decision before I could not send them back.
Gotcha. But yeah, like those are like when I was expecting to get Power Ranger shoes. Those are cool.
Jancy is such an amazing gift giver. I can't pick one.
Man. Those ones, like, they just show up. Here, Aaron. It's like, what? Why? She's like, well. And then she'll just say it's for Christmas, and I feel like there's another Christmas gift later on that she also does,
Yeah.
She gave me those Pikachu earbuds. And
Yeah.
I still use them.
I'll always I use different ones now just because the Pikachu ones felt like they were too big for my ear.
Yeah.
But I always loved when they died and they went Pika Pee
Sure.
in my ear.
Oh. I mean, I know one from Blind Wave wise was Star Wars Celebration.
That was pretty crazy.
Which was like I don't think it was for like a birthday or for a Christmas. It was just like we did this. I was like, holy shit.
I mean, that's when we were still like, well, we're doing this, but we also all have jobs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that one was a crazy one. I didn't expect that one. Like, I mean, I didn't expect like cameras or computers and stuff too, but I think Star Wars Celebration was like just such a bigger scale than what I was expecting.
And something that I always
all.
wanted to do.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that might be the biggest surprise one I can think of.
For Blind Wave, for me, probably the Blind Wave Irregular Hint Hunt.
Yeah, that one was great.
That was a great gift.
That video that we first watched, Mac with the milk.
And the Beyond the Mountains of Madness that was attached to that was great.
Yeah.
As far as like Maggie track down a very hard to find obscure board game. She had to like go through some German channels to like track that down and get that for me. So
German channels.
Yes. So that one always comes to mind.
I think of Jancy's, the best one is that my Katana box that got destroyed in my Star Wars
The
collection.
sail barge.
Yeah, the Jabba's sail barge box
It's
got
called a
destroyed.
katana?
Yeah, the name is the Katana.
I didn't know that.
It's spelled
Yeah.
K-H-E.
Okay.
But yeah, it's called the Katana. It's a luxury sail barge. LOMD luxury sail barge, I believe it's LOM. Yeah, I think so. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, that thing got destroyed whenever I had a water damage, and it was, I mean, it's super. Like Calvin, you got the Razor Crest. The Katana was 3 times that.
Yeah.
You know, and I was devastated because they made far less of those than they made of anything else.
Yeah.
And Jancy found a guy that's like, I opened mine. I have the box. You can buy the box if you want. And she got me the box, so I was able to take mine and put it into a new box.
And at least have the 2 parts
and still
together.
have the feeling of it being mint in box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Calvin, do you have anything thought-wise, or are you still kind of thinking?
I'm still kind of thinking.
I have my biggest surprise one from Melanie was probably like it was like around this time. Like I came home and like the kids and everyone were just sitting at the table, and when she like came out of the bedroom, she had like put on like a Christmas dress and like did her makeup up and all this stuff, and it was just for me. Like we weren't going out anywhere. She was just like, I dressed up for you for when you came home, and it was just really sweet. That was
That's
like one of my
nice.
favorite ones. I think that because like I think it might have been during lockdown times maybe or during kids were being homeschooled or whatever and stuff. We weren't doing much, but it was just like we didn't dress up, we didn't do anything, and she knows that I like to go out and dress up and wear suits and stuff, and it was just really sweet. That was probably my favorite.
Yeah. It's probably, is this like specifically Christmas or just gifts
You can
in
just do
general?
surprise gifts and whatever. I was just mentioning mine as a Christmas one.
Probably my birthday last year. Carmen set up like a bunch of balloons and streamers and stuff like that while I was at work, and she made me a pecan pie. It was her first attempt at making a pecan pie, so I think that one probably was really nice.
That's cool. All right. Everyone good? Any other thoughts?
I can think of one for my mom when I was a kid. She was a single mom. We had no money. I was super sick that Christmas, as I was most Christmas and most all the time. I was a pretty sick kid. So I wasn't really enjoying Christmas. I had a nest that I inherited from my great uncle, and we would rent video games. And one of my favorites was a game called Low G-Man.
Yeah.
And the rental store closed down, and she bought it when it closed.
That's cool.
And gave it to me.
That's really cool.
So that one was always really special.
OG, man. I never heard of that one. This game was cool.
As far as surprising gifts, building my own PC.
That's like your best blind wave one.
That was pretty great.
good, yeah.
Like, Calvin, you built your own. Well, what? That's so funny. That
Not
was a
when
good
you
one.
wished yourself happy birthday.
Calvin, Calvin was wishing you happy birthday. Tell him happy birthday. Happy birthday, Calvin. That was good.
And it's recent, but Jeff Johns sent me the duck from Stargirl.
That was pretty surprising.
That was a surprise.
No.
Yeah.
And there's been some cameos and stuff over the over the time that I'm like,
yeah,
oh my gosh,
definitely.
this is awesome. So
Yeah, I got a Christopher Judge cameo.
Yep.
Well, we're very blessed. We've had so many great gifts.
Mm-hmm. Very
Yeah.
much so.
The Arkham's Nosh. The Arkham's Nosh.
Okay.
I don't know. That's
Okay.
probably wrong. What is everyone's favorite season of TV? I think I know Eric's.
Season 4, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
That's the first one that comes to mind for me is season 4 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's like just first.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's other ones too but when I read this question, the first thing that came to mind was exactly that.
Yeah.
Huh.
In terms of a standout season, yeah, I would probably say that.
Like that's one where it's like I love this show so much, Like I liked it before that. But that one was just one of my favorites. I don't know.
The last season of Black Sails, the first season of The Expanse, every season of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul.
I want to say, like, I'm trying to pick Better Call Saul, but there's no season that stands out.
Sure.
It's all great.
They're all 10
Yeah.
out of 10.
Like, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has a couple seasons that are like, that was good.
Sure.
But it wasn't amazing.
Like, I wouldn't say the first season's my favorite, you know?
No.
Like,
No.
I would say the fourth is probably my
Yeah.
favorite of it.
Anime doesn't really have seasons like that. For live action, I'd probably go season 4 of Seinfeld.
Season 4 specifically, huh?
I mean, all of it's great. Don't get me wrong.
It's all great.
But
But
I
you
think
think
season
that's-
4 is probably the
That's like
best.
peak
Yeah, I think
Seinfeld?
you might be right. The thing is, when I watch Seinfeld, I just watch it
Yeah.
all at once.
Sure.
But, yeah, you might be right.
The Contest was in that season.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many good ones.
I'm trying to think what other shows I would be like, this is what stands out in my head. I really loved, if it wouldn't have been for Heroes Season 1, I probably wouldn't have watched the other 4 seasons of Heroes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't have watched Season 2, 3, 4, or Reborn if it wasn't for, like, how much I really loved Heroes Season 1. And that I watched in that entire trip with Rick to L.A.
Yep.
I watched it. I was up on the plane. I was up at night. Like, we were there for, I don't know, what, 3-4 days?
On my tiny portable DVD player.
Was it? No, it was on my laptop, wasn't it?
I thought it was on my tiny portable DVD player.
I don't know. I remember being on my laptop because I
might have
think
been.
I
I've
use
heard
it
this
for work
story
too.
before, and Rick has always talked about his portable DVD player.
I don't remember a portable DVD player, but I know that Rick went upstairs to look at a garden, and I was watching Heroes.
A rooftop garden?
Yeah,
it
it
was
was
a Japanese rooftop garden.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I never saw it, but I watched all of Heroes season 1.
Spent some time up there, wrote some poetry. Aaron's just watching TV.
It's good. Good shit. All right. Anyone got anything else? Move on.
Season 1 of Attack on Titan.
Sure. Season 1 Attack on Titan's really good.
Quite like season 6 of the Clone Wars as well.
Yeah,
The Lost Missions. It's not a full season, but it's got a lot of great stuff in it.
sure.
Man, I don't know if season 1 or season 2 of Titans.
Season 3.
I haven't seen that one.
Exactly.
BJ, I'm just gonna spell it BJWBRG because I don't know how
Okay.
you say those. There's no
Okay.
vowels.
Yep.
Hey guys, I had a question since this is the last podcast of the year regarding what resolutions, if any, do you have for 2023, and what are your hopes for the new year ahead, personally or otherwise? Personally or otherwise. Wishing you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you.
Resolutions ahead?
Yeah, resolution wise. I mean, I'm gonna continue my main one from last year, which I don't know if I ever actually said to anyone, but I was making efforts on being less dickish. Like, I felt like I would have more anger and stuff lots of times. I feel like and I wasn't managing it well.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to not do this stuff as much, and that was like a main focus. I was also trying to work out, and then that has like came and went over the whole year.
Sure.
So like I wouldn't mind going back into that again.
And one
trying
can
to-
help the other. Working
Yeah,
out can
sure.
just help with that. a
Yeah,
lot.
well, that was one of the reasons why I wanted to, because I
Yeah.
felt like it helped to.
It was a good outlet.
Yeah, help to manage some of that kind of stuff
that was
too.
like the worst thing that COVID did was take my energy.
Sure.
Because I was doing pretty good with workouts. I felt really good, and it's been really hard for me to get back into it.
Yeah. So use the motivation of the new year to push it over the edge and get going again.
Well,
you
I mean,
know?
you'll be lighter, right? Because vasectomy.
I suppose, yeah. I won't have those big guys holding me down.
You won't have that happen holding you back.
That's not how it works.
Not at all. You still need your testes.
And then also, I'm wanting to make an effort and push our the Pokemon channel, which I
Yeah.
started last year a little bit, and then I just didn't have time and whatnot, and it didn't work out
Yeah.
with me doing that separately. But now with that, it's becoming more of a blind wave thing, and
Sure.
I'm excited to just be able to do more Pokemon stuff.
Yeah, mine is definitely trying to get out of the norm when it comes to being a YouTube creator. Like, we've been doing this for such an amount of time right now that it feels just normal to exist as a creator. And, YouTube and the internet, it changes every couple of years drastically. And it's something that I want to focus on and trying to always be better, because the more and more time goes on, the more and more things compete with your attention. I'm always so grateful to people that give their attention to us.
Sure, yeah.
But I want them to feel like they're getting more out of it, more bang for their buck. So that's the thing that I want to really work on the whole next year.
Okay.
Is just trying to be a better creator.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. I normally don't do resolutions or anything like that. I normally just try to work on myself through the year rather than waiting for the timing of the year, because if I do make a New Year's resolution, I don't stick with it.
Sure.
So I think it's more beneficial for me to just constantly be working on myself. But no, I think fitness is a big thing for me moving forward. I've been doing boxing class with Rick. I've really been enjoying.
That's kind of like roll with the punches. That's coming,
awesome.
right?
Yeah, kind of like that.
Cool, okay. Neat. Neat.
Yeah, just probably making sure the house is in better order than it has been.
Shit, I need to do that one.
We moved in during COVID and everything, and it hasn't really felt like a home. We've still got boxes of stuff that we need to go through, so I'm probably gonna try and focus on that and getting it more in a home order rather than just a building we live in.
Yeah, makes sense.
Update the technology as well.
I get you. No, I mean, I understand the idea of you start resolutions, a lot of times they fall out, but I also like the idea of sometimes you lose motivation in different things, and man, I need a reason to start something, or and you don't push yourself enough.
Sure.
Sometimes you just need that excuse, I should do it right now.
Yeah.
And then it's just getting that to keep in a repetition or get that commitment to it, and then make it a habit.
Yeah.
Habit's the big thing.
Half the time,
depending on what it is.
I think of that would be a good New Year's resolution. I need to remember that. By the time New Year's rolls around, I've forgotten it and thought of 2 other things and forgotten those as well.
Sure.
So there's no point in waiting. If I want to make a change, I need to try to start it now.
Sure. No, I get you.
Because it'll just be gone.
Yeah.
Whenever I was getting into working out, the thing that I did that helped me the most in terms of just making a habit was just go over there and at least sit in the gym. Even if I don't do anything, just be there. Because eventually you're there and you're well, I might as well do something. I'm here. The hardest thing is just
taking the first step.
It's making
changing my clothes and going.
It's making time for it kind of thing, right? If you start making that time and you're there already, it was while I'm here for 30 minutes or whatever it is, I might as well do something.
I gotta get back into that again. Honestly, my main thing is I got to grow out this hair at the bottom of my lip. I've trimmed it my whole life, know, and I've always had this spot in my beard that doesn't grow, but I need to grow this out all the way to the end of my beard.
Eric,
now it curls up into my lip. That's how. I don't know if you can see it very well.
Just turn
sideways.
It's that much.
Turn your
head. Give us a profile.
Yeah, you can see it when you turn your head.
Yeah,
I saw it during
need that
mailbag.
to grow out, but right now it's growing up.
Eric, what you need to do is, I think it's what Calvin did, back when he grew his beard first, is he just, Mountain Man, just let it grow.
Let it all grow.
Just don't cut anything.
Way out.
Just let it grow for I don't know how long it takes for stuff to grow for you or whatnot. And just let it go and see it, and then now I'll trim it.
I had my beard down to here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Jancy will love it.
But again, I have to shape my beard. If I don't, my beard just
exactly.
It goes like this.
Do it. Let it happen.
Let it go,
my
Eric.
face is already too wide.
Just let it
I have to
go.
lengthen.
No, let it happen, Eric.
New Year's resolution: be resolute.
Rick, did you have anything?
I do. First, I want to say that I'm proud of you, Aaron. I think you've done a really good job last year.
I didn't want to skip over that. Diminish it all. It has made a huge difference.
No, I think things have been better here and also at home too, as whatnot between me and Melanie and stuff. And also I don't know if I talk about it on podcasts or whatnot, but last couple years with like pandemic and everything, I know it's been rough on a lot of people, but we also found out that she has like Crohn's, and there's a lot of complications that she's been having that have stemmed from that.
Yeah.
So I think a mixture of like how I was and what was going on there, and I was like, I don't know what's going on with her, but I'm gonna do this to try to like make progress too and stuff like that. So I think here and home, both things have just gotten a little better as a whole. So I'm glad it's noticeable.
No, definitely.
No, I'm proud of everyone here. I think they've grown a lot in the year. I'm not going to be able to get through mine without crying, I don't think. But 18 months ago, I decided I needed to feel better. So I didn't do it alone, but I did it.
Yeah.
So now, like, I hope with Roll with the Punches, I can help other people do that.
Oh, no, yeah. I can say, like, yes, Aaron, I've seen an improvement. With Rick, it's like night and day.
Yeah, sure.
In terms of being able to express himself better and inspire others. Like, I don't think I've felt more inspired than seeing someone struggle and fight back. So, yeah, Roll with the Punches is going to be a hell of a thing, everybody.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't hug me, I'm autistic. It burns.
Yeah.
All right, we talked about that already. Thaddeus J. Spider just says, how many bits to convince Calvin to play Stray on stream?
Ooh, Stray. I think you'd enjoy Stray.
That's the cat.
Probably.
That's that cat game.
It is a cat game, yeah.
I don't want to play it.
How many bits to get Aaron to play Stray on stream?
At least twice as many as whatever it takes Calvin.
How about us together? Would that be better?
At least
or worse?
triple whatever it costs for Calvin.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm the game. I've just seen trailers. I'm like, I don't know what this game is. I'm a cat.
It won awards, Aaron.
I mean, it was up for Game of the Year. Or not Game of the Year. Was it up for Game of the Year? It was in a lot of award nominations.
It was in a lot. I don't think it was in.
I don't think
like
it was
indie
Game
of
of
the
the
Year.
Yeah.
I think it might have had like maybe like soundtracks or something. So I'm trying to remember what all it was listed under. But I know it had tons of nominations.
For like,
so I'm like
direction and stuff.
It
right?
must be pretty good. But
yeah.
Chat says yes for Game of the Year.
Okay, it was? All right. I said that and I'm like, wow, maybe
Yeah.
it wasn't. Maybe I'm misremembering that. So thank you, chat. No, that doesn't mean Calvin say 1 bit. Because then that means someone pays a bit and he has to play it.
Yeah, but if they pay 3 bits, then you have to play it.
With me.
Yeah.
Like with each other, right?
Yeah.
That's a hell of a steal right there. Don't say 1 bit. All right. Lizbeth just says, how would you feel if they brought Grant Gustin for Flash?
I mean, I think everyone would be.
I wouldn't be against it. You know? I think that he was a great Flash, and I know that the show's wrapping up, you know? Excuse me.
Sure.
I wouldn't have anything against it. Would you, Eric?
I mean, I can see the advantages of trying to have a clean slate, you know? But again, like if I saw him in the trailer, I wouldn't be like, well, this is bullshit. I'd be like, yay, you know, I'd be happy for him. But his version of the character comes with a lot of baggage. And if you're wanting to have a clean slate, you don't want to put baggage on your slate. I don't know.
Baggage on the slate?
Yeah. It wouldn't be my decision, is what I would say. I would probably go another way. But I love him, and I can't wait to watch the final season. And I know Superman and Lois is kind of still a thing, too, but it's almost kind of saying goodbye to an era of DC fandom that is very particularly Blind Wave.
Well, yeah, the Arrowverse.
Yeah. Like
you guys have covered that.
It's so hard for me to divorce what has been my job for the last how many years and that era of and that like tone of storytelling, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't have to take it super seriously, but also you can be very emotional, but also you can make fun of it, but also you can get so hype, you know, like it's like my mom's soap operas for me.
Yeah.
You know, is how I feel about it. So I want a very fun last season of The Flash more than I want him to continue as The Flash.
No, I get that. Like, I want what we've been watching to be done and end well, as opposed to some shows where they just kind of like didn't get that chance, you know?
Yeah. Sure.
Like Batwoman didn't get that chance, even though they had such a hard start to get going anyway. And by the time I felt like, they're kind of getting their footing where I'm enjoying this more, then it was like, well, no, you're canceled.
But if you're gonna do a new Flash and he needs to like run on the cosmic, treadmill, right?
Yeah.
And then he has to bring Flashes from all the other universes to run on it to charge up.
There.
He should be there. He should be in the front.
Along with the
he
one
should
from,
be
like,
the fastest one.
along from the 90s one or whatever it was.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
He should be there too.
Yeah.
There's been a few others here, but I like this one here, especially with this being the end of the year. Heezy28 says, favorite show to react to this year. What was your favorite show that you reacted to this year? I would say, over 2022, what was your favorite show?
Better Call Saul.
It's hard to beat Better Call Saul.
I mean, that was my first thought, too.
And my first thought is Dr. Stone.
Dr. Stone was amazing.
Dr.
Stone was also amazing.
I can think of a better one.
I had so much fun with
It's a
Dr.
show,
Stone.
right? Because, man, Fast 9.
Yeah.
I mean, as a whole show, I enjoyed Better Call Saul. I feel like I get really hyped, at least right now. I don't know if I was as hyped in previous seasons, but for My Hero.
This season of My Hero.
This season's fucking going off. Like, I dread watching it at this point, but once we start, I can't wait.
Man.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest whiplashes I've had because I did not like last season. But
Sure.
I love this season.
Yeah.
So far.
And Gravity Falls was this year too, wasn't it?
Hot
we
damn.
finished
Gravity Falls. Yeah, that's pretty high up there.
Man.
It's hard to remember what's all been this year.
No, yeah. There's been a lot.
I also, Bridgerton's just so different that I always consider that one fun. The other ones, I'm like, you got to pay attention, you got to do this and this. Bridgerton, I never feel the pressure, so I always have fun with it.
No Simon.
What's that?
No
I
Simon.
know, I understand.
Somebody said WAP with Rick and Eric.
That was awesome.
What a morning.
Yeah, I don't know. Those are the first ones that come to mind. The thing too is like I'm sure I'm forgetting things.
Yeah,
that we've
Andor
done.
for you guys. Did
Yeah,
you say that?
Andor. Definitely.
Yeah.
Like you guys.
Well, and we
like,
had-
Rick, you've made a terrible mistake.
Oh, Andor.
Yeah.
Like
It's- It's just so...
I liked Obi-Wan. That was this year too.
Yeah.
Right. But I think Andor. I think Rick would have enjoyed more than like Obi-Wan and stuff. So
Andor is just so... In terms of relating to characters, usually in Star Wars, you kind of like look to characters as as an ideal in a way, right? You look like when you're a kid and you're watching Star Wars, you're like, oh man, life can be so amazing. But when you watch Andor, you're like, man, life can be tough because I know what it's like to do something like that. That's where I think it really switches. That's I think some people really respond to it. I think some people didn't respond to it as much, but I responded to it in a way that I haven't responded to Star Wars since I don't know when. Yeah. House of the Dragon was this year, which if it did anything, it was made me hopeful for Westeros again. That was been really nice.
dude, Cobra Kai was this year, yeah?
Cobra Kai, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
When
The
was
latest
that?
season.
Was that the beginning of the year or was that in the middle of the year? I
in
feel
the
like
middle.
we watched
we
it
kind of
recently.
like just finished it.
Yeah, it
didn't
hasn't
we?
been that long.
Yeah, I feel like we
yeah.
just finished it, right? But I felt like it also
Great
usually
season.
I feel like it usually started like January.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe did we have two this year? We didn't, did we?
I don't think so.
Somebody said 2 seasons this year.
Because I feel
But
like we were watching
know.
it in January.
Man,
Cobra Kai's great. I love
mean,
Cobra Kai.
like the last 2 seasons are so connected because of the main villain. It kind of runs together for me, but
Like shows that like I like watching a lot of the shows we have, but there's like an extra excitement that I have for some shows over others sometimes. And I feel like the 3 I think of the most have been right now has been like My Hero, Better Call Saul had been one of those, and Cobra Kai had been one of those.
fuck yeah, Mitri. One Piece.
That was this year. You're right.
One Piece.
All right, there we
Yeah.
go.
One
There's
Piece
the
is
answer.
real.
That's the one. Done.
Rings of Power was also really good.
I liked Rings of Power. I'm excited for what Rings of Power is going to do next.
Dexter New Blood.
That wasn't
I
this year, was
loved
it?
that first episode.
Yeah,
Was it?
yeah. It was like what March or something,
I think it
Man.
was this year.
beginning of the year.
That seems so long ago. I can't believe that
I know,
was this year.
It's hard to keep track of what there's been in
I
a
feel
year,
like that was
right?
back when we were still split up. like me and Rick in the back.
No, I don't think so.
No,
We were
I
at the
don't think
table
so.
together, right?
It feels so long ago.
All
And-
right. What?
Brooklyn Nine-Nine's always great.
Oh yeah, all the time.
It's a joy.
Community has
we've been doing
really
it-
been growing on me too.
And we've been doing it longer than a year, but Rick and I finished Lost this year. and
Oh, Lost.
people are going to be able to watch our finale reaction. Oh,
Whew.
I love. No one will see this, but I have the thumbnail up for it. Isn't that such a great thumbnail?
It is a good thumbnail.
So that goes up on early access, I think, tomorrow. Right? No,
Sunday.
Saturday.
Or Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah, it's a weekend.
Yeah. And you know what? Fuck it. We're going to announce right now we watched part 1 and part 2 of the finale in one video.
We did.
We did. We finally got to do it. So, Foresight writers on Saturday get to finish Lost with us.
Can we announce the movie we did yesterday? Because that was a highlight. Man, I had fun.
I think we can.
Well, I mean, you can just say the poll was ended, and
Sure.
you
Yes,
know.
the poll was ended.
I don't know if you want to say anything, Rick.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Let me grab one, maybe two more questions. Daniel, DT, I, right? Maybe a question for Badonka Gonk, but what's your most anticipated Star Wars project for 2023?
Oh, man.
Is Acolyte still supposed to come out in 2023?
I don't know.
It's got to be Mandalorian.
But- I mean, Mandalorian is very much up there. I'm
Survivor?
personally very excited for Ahsoka.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
sure.
think
Ahsoka's
that's
this
probably
year,
the
isn't it?
one,
Yeah.
just because, I was there. I was there when Ahsoka first came on screen, and everybody hated her. And now, she's getting her own live-action show. Jesus, what a change that is.
That's
So-
what Star Wars is.
I know.
Something new comes out, everyone hates it, and then you give them some
Aaron,
years
no one
and
wants
everyone
to
loves
hear
it.
you talk about the truth. They want to be angry right now and then claim they loved it later.
Here in like 10 more years, there's gonna be some more stuff comes out, and everyone's gonna be like, this isn't like the sequel trilogy. That was some good shit. Now this is garbage
Oh,
and stuff.
man.
That's just what
Yeah.
happens.
I'll take my prequel views to my grave.
You can.
Maybe. We'll see.
That sounds like a threat, Eric.
You will.
We have still yet to watch it since talking and watching Clone Wars too.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true.
You know.
That's true.
So
And I've never seen it in widescreen either. At
Sure.
least episode 1.
Oh, wow. The last one that was filmed on film.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the newest transfers of that movie look gorgeous.
yeah.
Episode 2 and 3, not as gorgeous.
Yeah.
They were filmed at 1080p, I think. I think they're upscaled.
Yeah.
So it looks like Acolyte maybe late 2023, but probably 2024 is what I'm seeing.
Okay.
So that one I only say because I have no idea what connections to anything it's going to have. Versus I'm familiar with Ahsoka. I'm
Yeah.
familiar with Mandalorian. I have some ideas of what those could be. I'm excited for what Acolyte could be because I feel like there's more possibilities for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I just, I'm a big Dave Filoni fan. In a lot of senses, there are I think a group of people that have been labeled as Dave Filoni fans, and
There's a label for that? Okay.
yeah,
I
there's
guess
this
that
kind
makes
of
sense.
weird thing where people that really like Dave will also hate some other things in Star Wars, and I kind of hate that people that are I don't even know how to say it, and it's dumb that I have to give an asterisk, but Jon Favreau was ultimately responsible for The Mandalorian, and Dave came in to be kind of like the assistant and also kind of learn, just like he learned with George Lucas on how to tell a Star Wars story. Then Jon Favreau kind of taught him how to run a show, and now he gets to kind of combine both of those into his own thing that he controls with Ahsoka. That's exciting for me.
Yeah.
Sure.
Especially since Ahsoka is his character, right?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely. And I just think that he's kind of like this really interesting mirror to a lot of stuff, right? He can evoke Kurosawa, he can evoke George Lucas, he can evoke all these different things. And he learned to become a director through Star Wars. It wasn't like he learned how to be a director and then was given Star Wars. He went from animation to live action. I think that's such an interesting and individualistic type of journey that I've never really seen before, and I can't wait to see what he brings to the table.
Sure. All right. Well, with that, it's 5 o'clock. There is also going to be next week the Donkagonk, where we will be talking about Master and Apprentice.
Yep.
And whatever other Star Wars things that we end up talking about.
Yeah.
I got some stuff to talk about.
So
I have notes.
December 31st, roll with the punches.
I suppose we can show the memes while I go through the
Bits and donations. I've got them up if you want me to do them.
Okay, that's fine if you want to do that. Why do you have so many? They had screws in these. Mine didn't have a screw. Why'd you do screws at me?
Well, let me change my input, I guess, so I can see the memes while it's happening.
Aaron.
Oh, this makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Because
You're-
my top 2 songs of the year from Spotify Wrapped were Stand Out and Eye to Eye
Yeah.
from a Goofy movie.
Thank you, Odette, for the 11 months.
Thank you, Odeth.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Storm Hover for the 20 months.
Oh,
Thank you, Stormhova.
Thank
you so.
Storm Harbor.
On that
I
card.
did not pee on that carpet.
I did not.
He did.
He did.
I can see the future.
Maybe we can't go through the bits. I don't know.
Well, yeah.
Or we can stare at them while the bits go happen.
Yeah, go for the bits.
Dude,
I'll
okay.
laugh.
Wheel Magic, 15 months.
Thank you,
Here's
Wheel
to
Magic.
almost a new year.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anna for 37 months.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you very much.
Hilding for 200 bits. Weekly Loving.
Week-
Sorry, missed a few weeks.
It's okay.
Thank
so
you.
did we.
Malik gifted a sub. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Malik.
Thank you, Malik.
80 Sant gifted 5 subs.
I should do that.
Thank you, 80-son.
Thank you.
Thank you.
5 subs. Congrats to everybody got a sub.
Holding Land resubscribed for 25 months.
Thank you, Holden.
Thank you.
Cobb and Rookie are the same person.
Malik gifted a sub.
Thank you,
Thank
Malik.
you, Malik.
Malik.
It's my app.
Camera Tagus resubscribed for 24 months. It's been an amazing 2 years. Keep being awesome and enjoy the holidays coming up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hang on. I gotta ask. What was that last one?
It
Okay.
says Whiteley.
I didn't know if anyone understood what it was.
I didn't catch it.
Oh, it's gone. Stay Zella resubscribed for 2 months.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
The Rulemaking Rat 23 months.
Thank you, Rat.
Thank you.
This image is accurate.
Shmai 5 months.
Thank you, Shmai.
You're like looking at his ass.
placement's perfect.
Yeah.
Tetsuo resubscribed for 42 months.
Thank you, Tetsuo.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Tetsuo.
That eye makeup was on point.
I think Melanie did that.
Yep.
She did. Lone Mythics. 13 months. Really good stuff. Looking forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Garrick Loran, 64 months.
Thank you, Garrick Loran.
Thank you,
Oh,
Garrick.
I fucking wish.
Right.
Dude, let's do Treasure Island. Right?
Valentino's subscribed for the first time.
Thank you. Welcome.
Mr.
That's really good.
Honcho, 15 months.
Thank you,
Mr.
Honcho.
Oh, this is the
Oh,
AI
I look
stuff.
badass.
Fuck yeah. Look at me.
Oh, please be cool.
Fuck
You
yeah, you
are
look cool.
so
That's
hot,
pretty
Aaron.
great.
That's
It
not
took your forehead and
true.
turned it into hair.
Yep.
Why do I look so different? It's like a different person.
I mean, we all look like different people.
No, you guys look like yous.
That's not bad.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's neat. I like that
I
one.
like it. The
Mary vasectomy.
Oh my gosh, that's so
It's
fast.
so
happened
quick.
fast. The Banana Cow resubscribed for 19 months. Stargirl Duck spinoff win.
Thank you, Banana Cow.
Now.
Duck
Thank you.
spin-off.
That would be great.
Lena 1811 subscribed for the first time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lena.
Saad Malik 20 months. C.
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 Okay. C. Thank you.
Becky Setch 16 months. Cool. 16 months.
Thank you,
Thank
Becky.
you, Becky.
Thank you,
And
Becky.
finally, Stormy Boy 41 months.
41. Wow.
Thank you, Stormy.
We made it through all the memes too during that.
Yep.
We did.
All
Great
right.
time.
Guys, thank you so much. Tomorrow will be Rick and Calvin.
Yes.
Operation Tango.
Continuing their stream.
Part 2.
Finishing it up.
So make sure you guys tune in for that. Eric will be back on Saturday with God of War,
Yes,
Ragnarok.
right. Oh.
Do you think you're close to the end, Eric?
I don't know, man.
And then next week, Monday and Tuesday, I will probably be finishing all the story bits of everything for Pokemon Scarlet Violet. Not the post-game stuff, but at least the main story stuff on Monday. Potentially the post-game on Tuesday. So we'll see how it goes. So,
Good stuff.
guys, have a good night. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Nobody guessed the movie, so they don't get a tier 2.